Hello, welcome to yet another episode from.
Random Rants.
This is episode number 19, and we want to uh, share some insights that we had from our Poland trip. So, I think this episode is a bit different from the rest because we are actually thinking and condensing our thoughts rather than just trying to go with the flow. But as always, we will go where this topic takes us, but it's more based on an amount of insights over time, unlike spontaneous things. So let me put that as the beginning.
I mean, it is as usual an unscripted episode, but we have a few things to share.
Yeah,
think,
sort of.
yeah,
Or there are a few things that we did think about, or at least
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
think about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And but let's see how this episode flows, and we
Yeah.
will take it from there.
All right.
Um, so first of all, last week we were on this amazing trip to.
Last week, culminating today. So we just came back from a trip to Poland in Krakow, to Krakow basically. It was really amazing trip. It's a good city to visit. If anyone hasn't been to Krakow, a lot of history
Yeah,
and a bit of travel back in time.
yeah. And on day one, we visited.
Auschwitz.
So that actually for me, I was going through a rough period. So I had initially thought of not joining the Auschwitz trip with you guys.
Tour, yeah.
Yeah, but thanks to Vinith for the foresight and a little push. Because I think it was one of the most, how do you say, heartwarming, heartbreaking feelings you've had to go through as a human. Like the amount of pain you feel, like all that negative pain vibe. I was feeling it in my tummy, in my spine, like it was very intense, very intense. I was crying so much that at some point of time I couldn't cry anymore. It was like there was this numbness as a human being. So it was very, 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 very difficult. But again, thanks to this trip, the next day we visited the salt mine. So there it was more of a
Positive.
releasing kind of healing vibe, leaving all that negativity back there. Even right now, just talking about it gives me that kind of pain in my adivara, like that lower abdomen area,
region,
like
yeah,
back area, like even chest, like that kind of pain is like, it's too much. Like it grabs me like this.
So Auschwitz, they've maintained it quite authentically as how it was, and it takes you through the journeys of several million people who, who've died there, and their remains and everything, just as a constant reminder to levels to which a human can fall, yeah, and to the amount of harm one can cause each other. Of course, it's just an example. There are other types of harm being done even today, but it's a good reminder for people to see, hey, this is what we're capable of, and so please learn and try not to repeat it, because history has a way of repeating itself. So it's a good thing that they've maintained it the way they've maintained as a reminder. It's also good for people to visit that place as well, to kind of ground or humble yourself, or to pray for the ones who've left.
Yeah, and then you start getting angry. You start getting angry, like so angry that how can human beings treat other human beings like this? How can we just kill millions like that? You know, like feels so unfair. It feels I want to like take revenge, and you know, like I was going through that kind of a phase too, like where it was. But then later I also went through what if it was needed, because towards the end of that trip it was more like let this remain as like a maybe something worse is to come and that is prevented because of this, or like kind of like this greater good theory. And I'm like, okay, this is really really bad. But if you think about it, maybe even Hitler was doing his dharma, which was a very 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 bad dharma to have, but that dharma was needed for maybe this awakening to happen right now.
So you're talking about soul contracts now. Is it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, oh my god. When this episode started, I had no clue where we were going. But now I'm like, let's go the way it goes.
So you're
And
talking about soul contract
yeah,
and what Hitler was supposed to experience his Hitler persona in this life, and
yeah,
yeah, that's because we've had similar discussions in the car as well regarding
yeah.
Mahabharata as well. Yeah, so
Oh yeah, I love that.
and
Go on.
the soul contracts and each people what they were supposed to do, and yeah, there was a discussion saying that the Pandavas they died and they go to hell, and the elder brother of the Pandavas, he was sent to heaven because he was a good man, but because his family is in hell, he said, I want to be with family, so I want to go to hell." And then he didn't find Kauravas there, and like, what's happening? Are those the bad guys? Did we fight for justice and they are in heaven? So there was an answer given that okay, it wasn't their dharma to do those actions. They've done a lot of bad things. They've done some good things. So they'll spend some time in heaven and then come back to hell to spend bulk of their remaining time. You guys have done some bad and a lot of greater good, so you'll spend some time in heaven. You'll go to spend the rest of your life in heaven. So
Process optimization.
yeah, so it's like everybody has a particular thing that you're supposed to do and leave, and it affects everything from there. Yeah, the whole universe. It's all charted.
There is a black to a white.
There's a black to a white,
Or
and
the hill
and there's a reason why
of crust,
things happen as well.
opposites polarity.
Yeah.
It's almost like saying quantum entanglement. If you need that upspin, you also need that downspin. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, there is polarity, right? It's plus and minus
Yeah.
to maintain that balance.
Yeah. So it's also about like maybe certain people are meant to be that way or meant to do certain bad things, if you know what I'm referring to. So that it is like that bat, cricket fans, if you understand, bat hitting the ball. The ball's direction is completely changed, or any kind of bat ball game or tennis racket, whatever. And maybe that's needed, or maybe that is charted in universe's bigger plan, which you cannot yet see.
Possible.
So I have felt like bad things happened. Bad things can happen. For me, the message from Ramayana is actually good can win over evil.
Ramayana or Mahabharata?
Ramayana.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ram,
Ravan.
yeah.
Yeah, and Ravan. But I think even in Ram, there was that element of black. Like he was not the perfect
The whole
husband,
yin
according
yang.
to me. Yeah, yin yang.
Yeah.
But even in Ravan, there was that white. He was like really talented, really intelligent, devoted, like Rudravina. He plays the Rudravina, maybe the seventh formal ring.
I mean, again, thanks to Binit because I mean he shared some of his insights or things he's learned. So Ramayana also, it's not about. I mean, one aspect of Ramayana could be how a king should be selfless, or a king should put his subjects over himself and his family and things like that. So maybe that is the lesson from Ramayana. Then
His
say
dharma.
dharma,
His dharma.
then say okay, is Ram the ideal husband or the ideal father or anything? No. The whole point of Ramayana could be not that. So,
Yeah.
so there are different interpretations or perceptions.
That's so beautiful. Yeah.
Mm.
So, what we want to talk about is two things, like the lesson from Auschwitz, actually, in the sense of Come on, think about it. We humans could be that selfish, or that we
Mm.
became that opposites, that we were willing to kill our brothers like the ancestors and neutral people,
Children.
children, like that.
Mm.
That's really, really painful. Like
Mm.
it was really painful for us as a collective. But
Mm.
please, 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 please let that be a lesson.
Mm.
We have stereotyped people in the past. We have thought of them away from society, or doesn't fit the normal,
Doesn't
like that,
discriminate.
discriminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on our perception, our
Mm.
stereotyping. Please don't do that to people,
Mm.
in the sense that be your authentic self. And if that authentic self is a bit vaguely you, how do you explain vaguely? Like,
Anxious, nervous.
uh,
Yeah, no.
like there is a different kind of energy, that spring energiness.
Yeah, okay. Bubbly? No, not bubbly, right? Yeah, okay. Could be.
Spring energy.
Nervous energy. Can you call
Why
it nervous?
nervous? It's
Yeah.
also excitement. It's
Okay,
also
being
happiness.
call it
It's
excited.
also,
Yeah, call it excited.
she said hyper. Hyper is the
Yeah,
right word.
yeah,
Like
okay.
in that
Yeah,
sense, like
okay.
you have so much energy.
Mm.
Like you're not super excited, you're hyper excited.
Mm.
Which is a beautiful energy, by the way,
Mm.
because I experienced it. And then I lost my train of thought. But that's a beautiful feeling to have, right? As a person. Be that.
Mm.
If you're that, be that.
Mm.
Because being your highest self,
Mm.
following that dharma,
Mm.
what are you here in this earth, in this Sneha avatar, in this Bobby avatar to be?
Mm.
Be the best version of that.
Mm.
Even if you're just a tree, like be the best tree
Mm.
that you can be.
Mm.
Because certain things you're born with, there's nothing you can do to change it. There are certain environmental factors, people factors that affected you, especially in your formative years. So that's very important. Your circumstances, your natural talents, your situation, the country, the culture, your food habits, your lifestyle, your exercising, your the air you breathe, the water you drink. Oh my God, there are so many factors that affect you as a person, as a being.
Mm.
But I think the only thing is be your authentic you.
Mm.
And here is where you might have controversial comments.
Mm.
Because in that sense, Hitler was also being his authentic him,
Mm.
which was to create that mass black part of history, like that dark, creepy.
I mean, if you think of Hitler alone, wouldn't have accomplished all this, right?
Yeah.
The people who believed in him, people
Yeah.
who followed orders and things like
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
So
Oh my God.
he did gather that
You're
support. It's
so
not
right.
like he
Hitler plus.
single-handedly,
Absolutely.
personally
Yeah,
did all
yeah.
the harm himself. He did.
He was the mastermind, that's
Yeah,
it.
he collected, right? There were people who believed and who followed.
And
And then the whole event. So don't. So when you say Hitler is the whole event, it's not a single person. The whole event perhaps had to take place. As unfortunate as grim, as dark as it is.
and maybe that led to a lot of, maybe, like, you can also think about it this way: World War One and Two also had its own kind of benefits of industrialization, or like, a lot of changes, a lot of scientific experiments, which changed the course of the rest of the population. So it was like a sacrifice needed, or which was very, 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 very unfortunate. But it's more for me like a martyrdom. It's more like we say soldiers sacrifice or become martyrs for the country. For me, it's like they sacrificed, or martyred
For humankind.
for humankind.
Mm.
They sacrificed their lives so that the rest of us could learn from it.
Mm.
Because we were not listening, we were not listening.
Mm.
A number of prophets came, a number of
Mm.
wise men wrote books and
Mm.
sang songs and
Mm. Mm.
made art to make us understand. Oh, hey Bhagwan,
Mm.
why don't you understand? So that was the vibe I was getting. Like,
Mm.
please let our deaths not be in vain. It is really, really heartbreaking.
Mm. Yeah, it was. I mean, I was also getting a visual of the places and the tour and the different things that we saw. So if you, yeah, I would say it's a dark place to be. It's a grim reminder of the past, but it's something that we should definitely go and see and feel the pain. And if we all collectively be there and do that, I think then we'll all influence how humankind would go forward as well. So,
So visit Auschwitz,
mm,
learn from it,
mm,
learn from it, teach your children.
mm.
I know the trip doesn't
It's good.
recommend
Yeah,
it, but
exactly.
at least tell them, like, tell them the story, show them the movies. There's this boy in striped pajamas,
Yeah,
and
tell it
meaning
that
to
that.
show it to
Yeah.
like together, supported by us. We can watch it. It
Mm,
is
mm,
needed.
mm,
It's a reminder. It's a lesson.
mm. No, it's a good point to show the children as well because they need to know the history as well.
So before we start judging people, we should really start reconsidering it. Like, take care of yourself, your body,
Mm,
your surroundings, your
mm,
needs. Take care of that. Be the
mm,
best version of yourself.
mm,
Wear your best clothes. One of the things that excited me in Krakow was actually people were owning themselves.
mm,
Like, you could see all kinds of styles. You could see mid-century, like gothic, like I don't know, 90s, 80s styles, like really fashionable, whatever they want, loose, tight, transparent. It didn't matter. Like, people were owning themselves. Like, you could also see a lot of rainbow themed things, or tattooed people. Piercing was very common, like the embe, I don't know what you call it. Yeah, so it was interesting to see people own themselves.
mm,
And I think it's also important to let people be who they are.
mm,
So before we start judging others, we have to think first, is it really true? What I think is right and wrong, is that really true? And then secondly, you have to think, who am I to judge those people?
mm,
And so, as long as you are your own authentic self and you let the other person be his or her or their
mm,
or their or their
mm,
authentic self,
mm,
it's okay.
mm.
So, it's also about
Yeah.
inclusion.
So you're saying live and let live.
Live and let live.
Mm,
So, it's also about how can we coexist as different races? How can we coexist as different kinds of individuals, ADHD, non-ADHD, or autistic, or neurotypical, neurodivergent, or LGBTQ, or Christian, or Muslim, or spiritual,
and
or
diversity.
yeah. Let that diversity come. Let that diversity happen. Let that mixing up happen, because at the end of the day, we are all one. We're all just one collective. Oh my God. Right now, when I'm doing this, I'm really feeling some energy flow. It's beautiful.
Mm,
And that's just really, 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 really an amazing feeling.
mm,
Know that we are one.
mm,
Always be kind. Please don't hurt anybody.
mm,
Let's learn from our mistakes of our past.
mm,
Don't discriminate. Don't judge. Try to be as inclusive as possible. Um, so it's also about seeing that silver lining.
Mm.
That's actually the moral of that story. Like, in this case, see, give forgiveness,
Mm.
bring out that healing
Mm.
as a human collective.
Mm. Increase the vibration.
Increase the vibration, learn from this.
Mm.
Let's all evolve. Maybe
Mm.
this collective awakening right now is happening
Mm.
because we've all had enough,
Mm.
and it's time to raise the vibrations
Mm.
as a collective.
Mm.
It's happening. More
Mm.
and more people are understanding consciousness.
Mm.
More and more people are becoming spiritually aware.
Mm.
More and more people are taking care of the environment, are
Mm.
becoming aware of
Mm.
our impact on fellow, not only races but also fellow species.
Mm. Planet and
Yeah, and planet and our body. And so that's really an amazing transformation to see. Let that happen. So think inclusive. Actually incorporate inclusiveness and not just talk about it or
practice it.
yeah, practice it indeed.
Any small change, any positive influence will always attract more positivity and also will
Yeah.
encourage more positivity in others as well.
So as long as you do whatever you can within your sphere and not affect or harm somebody else's, then it's perfectly fine.
And also do things in your sphere of control, your in your span of control. You don't have to move mountains or anything, just do little things that you can.
Yeah. You just have to be the best tree. like really, if your dharma is to be a tree in this world, be that best version. Climb however you can, get the resources as you can. Be your best version. You don't have to think, am I straight, am I curved, am I too thick or thin or and accept the same with the other person. But being yourself comes with that responsibility. Don't harm the other person. As long as you give that respect. So live and let live. Then we can all coexist so happily.
Peacefully.
Yeah. If we are all love and above, if we are all spiritually awake, like if we are all in that really high vibration where we are being our authentic self. Like in this trip, I was also reading the book Osho, from Osho, called The Man. And that he was talking about, like, in today's world, unfortunately, the shoemaker is the person who wanted to be the shoemaker has ended up becoming the surgeon. So that satisfaction is not there. If you ask a fish to climb a tree, that just doesn't work. So today we were sitting in the yard earlier today, and we were looking at all these beautiful butterflies. I saw dragonflies and honeybees, and
Yeah, exactly.
so in this world there are so many beautiful things, so many different species. Who said we are the most important one? We are just another species. So it's also about understanding how can we coexist harmoniously in this world. It's about that concept of unity. It's about that Vasudeva Kudumbakam. It's about think of a tropical forest. There are these trees, there are canopies, there are creepers, there are grass, bush, every kind of plant, animal varieties, insect varieties, bird varieties, like take every reptile varieties, like think everything coexists beautifully. And that's possible. That's possible with humans also.
Sharing resources, sharing space,
There is
sharing
enough for
everything. Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
need, but not for everybody's greed. Like,
Mm-mm. True.
and I think it can all start with one simple thing, like maybe gratitude.
Mm.
Gratitude for whatever happens, gratitude for whatever you have right now,
Mm.
gratitude for your own being
Mm.
right now, your
Mm.
own relations, your
Mm.
own relatives, your own situations, your own health conditions, your
Mm.
own financial situations, your
Mm.
own happiness, mental health, whatever. Like,
Mm.
start from being grateful there,
Mm.
give a lot of self love,
Mm.
accept you for who you are.
Mm.
And once you start accepting yourself and loving yourself,
Mm.
there'll be so much love
Mm.
and acceptance
Mm.
for a fellow human being.
Mm.
And then it kind of is like a candle lighting the other candles, and everybody is in
Mm.
light now. Everybody starts being a light being. And so that is very, very, very important. It's that concept of
Mm.
brotherhood, that
Mm.
concept of acceptance,
Mm.
that concept of inclusion.
Mm.
But it starts from you
Mm.
being your most authentic self
Mm.
and letting the other person be
Mm.
his or her or their or their or
Mm.
whatever its most authentic self. I can only control me.
Mm.
You need to control you.
Mm.
And I have to let you control you.
Mm.
And whatever that is, if you fully, truly, unconditionally accept, unconditionally love,
Self love. Yeah.
and then the world will be a much better place.
Mm.
And I think that's all we have to share today
For
in this
today.
episode.
Yeah.
So live your fullest, best, authentic, most highest self kind of life, your best version,
Of yourself.
who you
Yeah.
are of
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
your ideal life that you want, live it, not according to anybody else, but your own authentic,
Yeah. Live by your standards.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also and let live.
Yeah. Respect others as well to do the same. Yeah. When they
Yeah.
do the same. So.
Don't make judgments. Who are we to say what is right, what is wrong?
Mm.
Let each other be
Mm.
each other. I mean, each
Be who
person.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as you are not consciously
yeah. As long as you are
harming,
not directly
harming
being
or
affected.
causing any
Yeah,
hurt, live and let live.
yeah. It's okay to jump in the street. It's okay to laugh uncontrollably. It's okay to wear the most colorful dress or have the craziest hairstyle or go without makeup or
Mm.
be yourself.
Mm. Just be you.
And once you start doing that, you'll identify that there is a lot of strength and confidence and within yourself. And you will also start getting these secret angel numbers from universe telling you that you're going in the right path.
Mm.
But it all starts with just loving yourself, doing your best,
Mm.
and surrendering and accepting.
Mm.
So this is us signing off with a reminder to stay
Love and above.
love and above. Bye
Take
bye,
care.
happiness.
Bye
Take
bye.
care. Thank you.